Executive Pastor Coleman Peacock here with lead pastor, Brother Britt Peavy. We have some great news, great breaking news that we've been waiting for a long time that we're going to be talking about in the next few minutes. Brother Peavy, you want to just mention a few things?
Yeah, thank you, Pastor Coleman. I have some good news, and I have some good news.
All right.
So which do you want first? The good news. The good news is that we're coming back to church. May 3rd, which is this Sunday.
Yes.
We are going to be reopening and having church in our sanctuary together, obeying the Lord's command,
yes,
and not forsake the assembling of ourselves together. We're going to get back together. That's the good news. And the other good news is that we are absolutely committed to taking every precaution we can to ensure your safety and your security.
Yes.
We don't want anybody getting sick. We don't want to spread any virus. So we're going to take many precautions to try to prevent that.
Right.
So there is going to be some adjustment, but it's for our benefit.
Right. And I'm a senior citizen.
Yes.
So I'm concerned about everybody that comes into the sanctuary, but especially senior citizens, which are more vulnerable. And some questions I need to ask you. Are we violating any state or city mandates by reopening this coming Sunday?
I'm glad that you asked me that, and the answer is, to just be blunt, no. But let me qualify that a little bit. In actuality, in the state of Georgia, churches could have always been gathering together if they had followed the protocols, the social distancing,
right,
those kinds of things.
Right.
We were just really encouraged to either meet online or in parking lot services or that kind of thing. So honestly, we're not doing anything more than we could have been doing all along. But especially with this relaxing of some of those shelter-in-place,
yes,
ordinances and mandates, we're certainly only within our rights, but we're certainly allowed to do that. And we have spoken with local authorities as well. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we're looking at is churches actually could have been back this past Sunday. And most churches, I read a USA article, most churches opted not to.
Right.
So about 90% of the churches in the United States have not only followed mandates in their state, they have exceeded them in order to care for their people.
Okay. Are we planning on going back to our regular service schedules immediately, say this Sunday?
No, we're going to have to do it in phases.
Okay.
And of course this goes along with what the president's recommending as well, and the governor, that we do things in phases. And we are actually going to have two services. There will be a 9 a.m. service for seniors, because seniors are more susceptible to this.
Right.
We want to protect them. And so we're not isolating them at all. We are enveloping them in a safety zone.
Right.
So at 9 a.m. we're going to have a senior adult, 60 and over, senior adult service, and then at 11 a.m. we're going to have what we call the families service, and that's for people 59 and below. Now, when people come together, we will have to observe some social distancing,
right,
and that kind of stuff.
Well, for those that are coming, that will be in service with us, do you have any suggestions for them?
Absolutely. First of all, if you have a mask, please bring it and wear it, especially when you're entering and exiting the building. And then we're asking you to sit 6 feet apart from anyone else that's not of your household. Obviously, a husband and wife, or a husband and wife and their children can sit together, but stay 6 feet away from other people in other households. And we're going to mark our pews where it's okay to sit, where it's okay not to sit. And actually, for that second service, we're going to have people sitting in places where they were not sitting, and we're going to be cleaning in between the services. We're going to be sanitizing in between the services. So we're going to do everything that we can, and if you don't have a mask, we're going to provide one for you when you come. We're going to try to maintain that because we're being allowed to come together, but we want to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe.
Okay, you talked about the social distancing, which is 6 feet apart,
Yep.
and that's upon entering the sanctuary and upon exiting the sanctuary and seating in the sanctuary.
Now we can control what happens in the sanctuary much better than we can control what happens in the parking lot.
Right.
So we're going to need our individuals that are coming to use some wisdom and some restraint. And if only one person in our services, if only one person went and hugged everybody in the room, we might as well all be sitting together.
Right.
And so we need restraint. And here's the thing. I know there are individuals that will say, I'm not scared, I'm not afraid, I'm not worried about it. You wearing a mask, you maintaining that 6 foot distance is an act of caring to other people.
For others.
It's
That's
not
right.
about whether or not you're scared of it. It's that you're not wanting to inadvertently pass something that you might have and not even know along to someone else.
Right. Well, what steps, you mentioned about sanitizing. What steps are we taking to sanitize the building to make sure that it's safe?
We're going to have a cleaning crew come in on Saturday before our service. They're going to wipe down all the pews. We're going to wipe down all of the doorknobs, all of the things that people would be handling. And then in between the services, that same crew is going to come back through and do all of that again so that we make sure that we're not spreading anything.
Okay. Well, we've got some people who would be what we would call at risk.
Yes.
Because of health conditions or because of immune system, whatever. And they may be experiencing some type of symptoms, whether it's allergy or whatever. What advice would you have for them?
Well, first of all, to those folks that are at risk, if you have a low immune system, please stay at home. We understand we're still going to have church online available to you on Facebook or YouTube. So please stay at home. We don't want to put you at risk. Now, when it comes to an issue of seniors, not every senior is the equivalent of each other. You may have a person in their 60s that's been working a job that's this whole time, essential services, very healthy, but you may have somebody else that has a very low immune system.
Right.
So we're actually leaving that up to their own wisdom whether or not they feel that they are able to come. But if you're the least bit concerned, we understand. Stay home. People are not going to feel hard at you.
Right.
Now, if a person is symptomatic, we're asking you, please don't come. If you have a fever, please don't come. If you're
Right.
experiencing symptoms that are can be perhaps acquainted or associated
Yes.
with coronavirus, please don't come. As much as we love you, let's take one for the team and let's protect other people.
There's one question that always comes up that people want to know, and that is, how long is this phase 1 going to last?
Well, there's not a good answer to that. We simply don't know. As we're speaking today, the last numbers that I saw, we have 100 cases of coronavirus in Douglas, and we've had 4 deaths. If a month from now that has maintained, then we may be able to open back up. If a month from now we have 200 cases instead of 100 cases, we probably want to extend and continue to practice social distancing.
Yes.
So we just don't know, but we are making progress. We're going through a process, and process means progress, so we're headed the right direction.
Yeah, and this other question goes right along with it. So when in the world are we going to be able to resume our regular services?
Yeah,
And that-
well, there's 2 questions really that come to mind. Getting back to our regular schedule of services, again, it may be 4 weeks, 6 weeks, it may be 8 weeks, we just don't know.
Right.
But with the question, when are we going to get back to church as usual? My question would be, I hope we don't.
Right.
I hope that we continue to do the things that we've been doing during this time to get the word out to as many people as we can. And I hope when we come back together, we don't have the usual attitude, but we have an expectancy and a celebration and an anticipation of what the Lord's going to do.
Well, as a senior citizen, I appreciate the answers to these questions, because it helps me to know, should I be there? Should I wait? And now these are questions that people ask. Am I ready to get out yet? And some just aren't sure.
Yeah.
And we're saying that if you're just not sure just yet, not ready to be out, listen to us and watch us on Facebook and enjoy services that way until you're sure that you could be a part of it. But we just absolutely look forward to the day that all of us can be back in service again and enjoy the presence of one another, but most of all, the presence of God.
Amen. And things are going to look a little bit different, Coleman. We're not going to be having Sunday school. We're not going to be having choir. There'll be no children's church, no nursery. We're staying away from small groups during this time. We don't want people to be in confined areas. It's obviously be very difficult to keep children at a 6 foot circumference, and that's it. It's not just linear 6 feet, it's a 6 foot circumference, a zone around you to protect you. So it's difficult to do in small groups. So we're not going to be doing any of that. We're not even going to be serving coffee and those kinds of things. We want, and we're really asking people to limit restroom use. If you don't absolutely need to do that, please don't go to the restroom. We're just trying to keep down that people won't be anywhere where they're touching things that others have touched, doorknobs, those kinds of things. So it's going to look a little bit different, but it's still going to be mighty good.
Let me ask you another question. Let's say that I'm 25 years old, or I'm 30 years old, or I may be a teenager. But the best time for me to come to church is 9 o'clock with the seniors. Can I come with them?
Yes.
Or can seniors come with the others if it's best suited for them?
We're not going to card anybody at the door. Whoever comes is going to come. The only way we would turn anyone away is if we had 200 show up at the first service. Obviously, we couldn't maintain that 6 foot circumference. But we're not going to turn anybody away. And it may, you may have a family where the mother, who's a senior citizen, lives with the children. It's better for her to come. But it is recommended that seniors come to the 9 a.m. and those that are not at the 11 a.m. If a person has been working an essential job so that they're exposed to different people, it would be better for them not to be in the senior adult service, because they don't want to bring anything in. So it's best if we maintain that, but it will not be enforced.
Okay, something else I just thought of. Will all entrances to the church be open, or will there be everybody filtered in through a particular entrance?
We're going to try to maintain just one entrance so that when people come in, we'll be able to give them a wipe or put a squirt of hand sanitizer in their hands, offer a mask to them, and we're going to try to maintain even outside as they wait to come in a 6 foot distance. But obviously, there's only so much we can do to enforce that. So we need our people to be very considerate of other people.
Right. So we need everyone coming to make sure that you honor that social distancing. Sit together as families, but don't sit with other families.
Yes.
Keep that 6 foot distance. And then, no matter how hard you just want to shake somebody's hand, or you're so happy to see them, you want to hug their neck. Just don't.
Yes.
Just smile at them, throw them a kiss or whatever, but don't don't be touching, and honor that social distancing. And that way we're going to be honoring the requirements that are placed on us. We want to continue to do and to meet as we are planning on meeting. So just honor those, and we appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully this has answered your questions as well as mine. I know it's answered my questions. Hopefully it's answered your questions. If not, give us a call at the church, and we'll be glad to talk with you.
Absolutely. In fact, you can call me at 912-381-3015, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have. And we'll have this on the bottom of the screen for you, that number, so you can call me. We are going to be safer than Walmart. So it's our goal to be one of the safest places in town.
Yes.
And so we are going to encourage people to come that are able to come. We know people need to get out and see other people. They need to get outside their house. And if you're going to be going other places, the church ought to be one of those places that you're going.
Right.
But at the same time, it is up to you to practice some common sense and some care. So we're looking forward. Thank God we've made it this far.
Yes.
And we're hoping to make it the rest of the way in Jesus' name.
Right. Thank you for answering my questions, and hopefully we've answered the questions for all of those that are listening right now. And let me say that we look forward to seeing you, and may you have a great day.
Amen.